I'd like to start off today, this afternoon, by thanking each and every one of you for being able to make it into this very special occasion for us. Some of you have traveled a long ways, but I guarantee none of you have traveled quite as far as my mother. This is our celebrity today. She's been my celebrity since the day I was born. And I know sons are supposed to show favor to their mother. But I'm going to tell you right now, after 62 years of living, I've never found as big of an angel on earth as my mother. Of all the years that she has worked in the beauty business, everybody has come to this young lady and loved her with their heart and soul. Some people asked her one time, well, Margie, why do all those people love you? Each and every one of us know why. This is real, this is pure, this is genuine, this is unconditional, unjudgmental love that we've been blessed with for 100 years. I look at my mother as a role model and the matriarch of my family. For 62 years, she's been my role model. For 62 years, even to this day, when I walk through the door of my home where she lives with us now, she looks at me and says, son, what can I do for you? That's selflessness. We can look at this lady and learn to live a perfect life. Her life started in Santa Ana about 7 years. Well, actually Juan, her mama. Juan, only child born at home. Grew up down there, about 16 years old. Her and my daddy at 17 were naughty. They came to a football game, didn't even ask their parents' permission to get married, and got hitched at a local preacher's house. And then daddy got scared, took mama home to Santa Ana. He mustered up the courage to tell his parents. And after about a month of my grandparents waiting, his daddy looked at my daddy and said, son, go tell Mr. and Ms. Griffin what y'all have done and bring your wife home. Everything I think about this lady is awe-inspiring and overwhelming for me. Never has she let any of us down. No matter where my brother has been or what's been going on in his life, where I have been, what I've had going on in my life, she has visited me in every part of the world where we had children to help my wife. She's had hickeys all over her neck from my daughter, Lisa Marie, because Nisa was sucking on her neck trying to nurse. I could go on and on and on about the stories that my mother has put in my heart and my mind. There is no better example for what a mother should be. I'm overwhelmed to look out at this family of mine today. Some of you may not have Duncan Griffin blood in you, but you are family. Our younger generation needs to pay attention to what makes us unique and special as a family. Her mother, I don't know how she did it, raised an enormous family, and every one of her sisters and brothers served this country as America's greatest generation. Her sisters, go ahead. I sat in the hospital not too long ago with her sister, listening to her sister talk. And I thought about her mom. How in the world did Carrie Griffin inspire such amazing daughters? Every one of them are amazing daughters. I could just talk and talk and talk about this family. But I'm not going to talk. I know I've been accused of being verbose. Let me get to a few of the details, and then I would like to invite you guys to talk. Think about over dinner what the things that you'd like to share, the memories that you'd like to share. We're going to have dinner here in about 5 minutes or so. Oh, actually, I'm 2 minutes late, but that's okay. I stayed up late last night. But after dinner, we're going to have an opportunity to pass the mic around. I'm going to give Mom a mic. One of the things that I have found amazing about her and her sisters is they feed off of each other. One of them says something, and it makes the other one remember and say something, and then it makes another one remember and say something, and everything they have always said in front of me is just amazing to me. From the time Mama drug a cotton sack and her daddy snuck cotton in so the boys thought she was keeping up, to I could go on and on with that stuff. It's amazing. Born before driver's license, born before income tax, born before Social Security. 12/27/24 was a very special day in my life and all of yours. And that was yesterday. By the way, she's 101 day old now. A few of the details I'd like to share. Oh, wait a minute. Where's she at? She's going to be mad at me. Everything that you see here today, my incredible niece put together for us. Nikki, where you at? I knew she'd hide. That one right there built every centerpiece that's at the table today. And you know, I kept bumping heads with her and bumping heads with her and bumping heads with her, but there's a reason for that. She's been touched by her love too. She's a perfectionist. She's compassionate about what she does, and she wanted it to be this. She wanted it to be perfect for Grandma. And it is, Nick. And I thank you for that. And by the way, will y'all join me in singing a little song? It starts with happy birthday, but it's for that one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nikki. Happy birthday to you. Today is her birthday.
Jason's birthday today.
Oh, my mom reminded me, Jason, your birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday.
So I can't be everywhere all over this place. I do have a smartphone. By the way, that's an iPhone. For you Android users, we're going to work with you. If you look on the table in front of you, there's a little piece of paper and it's got a little SKU code on it. Please take pictures today. I can't capture them all, but every picture we take is important to me. And I would like you to share those memories with me. You can either text them to the telephone number that's on that pink paper, or you can scan that QR code if you're tech savvy, and Nikki's going to pull those out. And what I'd like to do is, if you text it to me, I'll add you to the photo album. Every picture that's in the centerpiece is of this young lady right here at various stages in her life from 5 years up. I've tried to figure out a really good game that we could play to let people win those pictures, because I can't put them all in the house, I don't guess. But anyway, those pictures are special to us. If you can't, if you have an opportunity, get around, look at every picture. They're special. Nikki put those together. I'm sure you've noticed the slideshow that's running. These are all the different stages of Mom and Dad's life and Mom's life. Nikki she's running a full-time job as a realtor. She's volunteers in her community as a soccer coordinator, and she's very busy. But I think she's done a bang-up job putting all this together to honor Mom. If you get a chance, hug her neck. That's what we Duncans and Griffins do. We hug. Hug her neck. That's her payment. You've already done the gift table on the back. You found that. We do have a frame over there. If you haven't had an opportunity to sign the frame, put a little note, love you, Margie, and put your name on it. There's a little white frame over there with pins. We do have a videographer that's here. And he's gonna be floating around when we share memories in a minute. We'll pass a mic around so that you can speak. I'm gonna have a mic for Mom because she may like to say something back to you when you share a memory with the group and with Mom. And I've already talked to my aunts. They probably got the longest memory back with this young lady. But anyway, the videographer's gonna catch that, and that's the videographer right here. And then after we have that open session, there's a private room up here. If you'd like to record a private message to Mom, you can do that. Nick, what have I left out, honey?
That's it, I'm hungry.
All right, we're gonna start the serving line on this end, and we'll work straight this way. Y'all holler in at Phil in there if you think it's good. Tell him thank you. I think he's done a great job on the meat. We should have some chopped brisket, sliced brisket, sausage, beans, potato salad, and then Phil said he was gonna surprise us with something special. After the meal is served, all of the cupcakes are over here, and we do have a few more if all the kids beat us to them. But that's it for now. Enjoy yourself. Get around. Photo op if you can. That's what all this is for. And Nikki, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, darling.
Well, anyway, I just appreciate everybody coming. Gail, Debbie, Lucille from Mississippi, Tommy and Susan from Alpine, and of course the police bunch.
We are indeed blessed as a family, I can tell you. But me being the baby, you know, once a baby, you're always the baby, especially at 10. But I want to tell you a funny story since we're trying to get the tears away. And I think it was like 1948. All right, I'm ready to go. So in 1948, Margaret and Waylon built this fabulous house on the side of a hill up here. And for the first time in years, we had Christmas somewhere other than with our mother and dad, wherever we lived. And we thought that was really walking in high cotton to go to Margie and Waylon's for Christmas, for the big Christmas blowout. Well, let me tell you, it was a blowout. My sister, just older than me, who is not here today, but we had brand new chenille robes. And Margaret and Waylon had graciously provided us with fireworks and sparklers. And we were having so much fun at their house on the hill at our Griffin family Christmas blowout that it blew the firecrackers in my pocket. It ignited them and blew a hole in my brand new robe. So that was a real Christmas blowout.
Well, let me think of something funny.
This is Edna Ruth, her sister.
She already told it, one of them. But we have many, I'll tell you, over the years. And of course, we're blessed to have this little old sister of ours. But the one thing I remember, I don't remember what year it was, but I went up one week to stay with Margaret and Waylon in Fort Worth. Were y'all in beauty school then? Do you remember when it was? They lived in this little small trailer, and there was barely room for all of us in there. But we did have a lot of fun, and I'll never forget that. We would go over to see Aunt Denny in Henderson after that. But they always showed me a great time. I would stay just the weekend, I think. And why I went up there, I don't know, but I had a wonderful time. And we always loved coming to Coleman and seeing Margaret and Waylon and all the kids. And we just had a great time, and we're all so blessed. Love you.
We bought that little 7-foot, 14-foot long trailer, and we hooked it on to our car and took it everywhere that we lived. We lived in San Angelo the first time for about 9 months. And then he was transferred to Bryan Air Force. Well, this week we came back. I called my and told his mother and daddy where we were going. And then we stopped and told mother and daddy. And by the way, we always had a dog. So we hooked on and cut down. Foggy, oh my, it was so foggy. But we drove all the way as far as we could see, and we stopped both sides of the road before we got there. Well, of course, the radiator dripped out of water, and Waylon had to get up and go down and get water out of the ditch somewhere, put the radiator. Then we got on into Bryan, and there was a place down that you park across from the field. And we got that far. And we stayed there for, well, we were staying in Bryan about 3 years. But I got a job in town, so we had to move the trailer into town. Fortunately, we put it behind a service station, and the little woman next door came over there, introduced herself, and she said, Waylon, I want you to move this trailer over in our yard over the fence so we can watch when she comes home. So after that, they just adopted us, and we did love them. We stayed there he got transferred to Barksdale, California. Anyway, we pulled out of Bryan in a blinding snow, and we drove till you couldn't see the highway all the way to Henderson. And when we moved, we put the little porch in the house, and the dog would get under the porch in the house. Anyway, just about the time we got there, he got his papers to get out. So his daddy came over there with us and took Dixie and us back, and then we went to Fort Worth because I hadn't to school. I had beauty college and Waylon in Barber. Well, because his daddy had a barber shop. So then he decided that he liked what I was doing, so we stayed another year, and he took cosmetology. They had special hair cutting, special, all different treating. And so from there,
another time we were playing in the front yard, my cousin Bill and I were working on a science project. We would take garment bags from the dry cleaner, fill them with natural gas, put a makeshift fuse on them, send them up in the air, and then light the fuse and the thing would burst way up in the air. Well, when it was all gas, it didn't work too good. So we decided to make one out of oxygen and acetylene out of the cutting torch paper. So we got the thing all fixed. We first started with little bitty balloons and then wound up with one that was, I don't know, 18 inches in diameter. Bill was the one that got to set the thing off in the driveway. He had on a button-up shirt that was ripped off of him and flipped up over his head. The fire ran up his britches legs and burned the hair off his legs up to his knees. And Mother and Tommy and Kathy Macmillan and several other people and Daddy were all sitting around the dinner table. Of course, this horrific noise, the curtain blasted out next to the table, rattled all the windows and the dishes in the cabinet. It was dead quiet in the house. And I thought Daddy would be the one that would come out and that was going to be the end of us. No, it was my mother. She came and she stuck her head out the door and she said, "You boys still here?" "Yes, Mother, we're here." She says, "What in the world are y'all doing?" I said, "Oh, we're just popping balloons, Mom." And she says, "Oh, popping balloons. Okay, I'm going to tell your father," and walked off. We could get phone calls from all up and down the hill, people wondering what this horrible explosion was down in front of Mom's house that night. And she finally wound up telling one of them, "Well, yes, the water heater exploded."
Have some breakfast. I just made up a little bit for you. We walk out there and it's enough to feed an army of 200. But that was Aunt Margie. She always loved cooking. She loved being a hostess and having us there, and we loved being there.
Everything that we did. Again, I'm not going to say a lot about those adventures, but I want to say something about their household. I grew up in their house since, what was it, we were 6 years old or something like that. Me and Joe and Larry ran it together forever, still do. And that house, you've never seen so many people come through that house. Kids, family, friends. And I told this similar story at our Christmas with our family a few weeks ago. Family is not the blood that runs through your body. Family is the love that's shared amongst everybody in that group. There's so much love that has gone through that household that Margie and Waylon had, that they have got a huge family. And Margie is as much a mother to me as my birth mother. Joe is a brother to me. Larry's a brother to me. Bobby's a brother to me. All of y'all are family. And I want to thank you, Margie, for that. And I want to thank Waylon for that, too. Love you. Happy birthday. Let's do this again in the next 100 years.
We are the Jean Ray Griffin family from Killeen. Some from a little further away, but we're Killeen, the Killeen family. One thing I remember always was, yes, we do like to talk, and I am a Griffin girl, so yeah, they tease me all the way down here. Shut up. When the sisters would get together, some of you don't know that 4 of the Griffin sisters sang. They sang all over the Bell County area, the aunts. And when we would gather and all the sisters would get up, the brothers, Daddy, Uncle Dwayne, and Uncle Pete would be laughing so hard they couldn't catch their breath at something, we don't know what. But when the sisters would stop and sing Silver Haired Daddy, the boys would stop and cry. And I remember all the sisters singing at our grandmother's piano every Christmas. And yeah, her house was little too, so we packed them in as well. We were all over the place, but that's a great fond memory that I have of Aunt Margie and the girls, the aunts. So on behalf of the Jean Ray Griffin family, happy birthday. Mom and Daddy would be so happy to be here. They would love this. Our Daddy loved you so much.
Firstborn grandchild, and it's an honor that should work for me. And we are everything that we are. We are family because of how you showed us to love and how you showed us to be a mother and a wife and a grandma, and to fill your home with love and unconditional love. We're able to do that with our children now because you showed us how to do it. And I'm forever grateful for you. I love you so much. You're nice.
There you are. So, yeah, I mean, I just, you know, whenever I was a little boy, you know, we lived at the bottom of the hill. I remember living at the top of the hill. And all I can say is grandmother is home. If you want to know what home is, it's this woman, it's her house, it's all the love she gives, the children she's raised, my uncle, my dad, everything comes from this woman right here.
and there's not enough love that I could ever put back out in the world, even a piece of what she had. So, I love you, girl.
As you can tell, this is something I think is funny about the human soul. Our heart is only so big. And what you see right here is their hearts aren't large enough to hold all the love that they have. And when that stuff just bubbles up out of your heart and out of your soul, it just runs out of your eyes and it makes you hardly able to talk. That's what life's all about, you know. Each and every time we get together as a family, we end at Thanksgiving and Christmas, we don't do it enough. But that is our greatest treasure. You can have $1 billion in the bank, and if you don't have that, you're poor. I want to remind her, I'm going to punish my kids. So, Michael, you're at least going first. I'm going to tell you something. Whenever we were stationed in 29 Palms, California, we tried to come home every year for Christmas. It was the only time we ever could do it. I'm going to tell a little story about my little girl first. But every single time that we would leave to go back to the military, that little girl would cry for about at least an hour when we had to leave Grandma's house. Again, that's that addiction of that pure love that woman lives and breathes each and every day. Honey, you're going first.
Stand up.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm the short one. I got her shortness. I'm Lisa. Hi. We moved all over our entire lives, and they've already said it a lot. Grandma's house was always home. We traveled a long way to come back and visit with her, and it was always a great time at Grandma's house. I mean, there wasn't always, tons of money or anything like that, but we didn't care. I mean, we all played together on the hill and in the pool and, played dominoes at Grandma's table or Uno and had tea and, Grandma would make breakfast in the morning. And it was just being together and spending time with each other, and she was the center of that, and she just did everything that she had and gave everything that she had. And I think she's touched a lot of people with that. I mean, look at how many people are in this room right now and everybody that loves her and not a dry eye in the house. I mean, that's a huge testament to who she is and the godly woman that she is. And I love the stories that she tells. I mean, my favorite one probably is the communion story that she tells about, I don't know if it's my daddy or my uncle. What? Bobby, yes. The one about Bobby taking communion. I think I've probably heard that story a handful of times, and it's hilarious, and maybe we'll get her to tell it because she'll be able to tell it way better than I can. But, going to church with her and sitting next to her and bringing her to my church with me has always been special to me, and being able to sit next to her and just hold her hand and listen to everything that she has to say. And 100 years is a long time. It's a lot of wisdom. It's a lot of growth and love, and it's a blessing to have her. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for her as my grandmother and the mother of my father, and she's a special lady. So happy birthday, Grandma. I love you.
She loves everybody, but we know that. From each and every one of us in this room, we just want to wish you the best of happiest of birthdays. We hope we can do this again next year. But if not, petition for us when you get there. Because some of us may not have as easy time getting in as you are going to. Thank you. I love you. You're the greatest mom ever.